Stop! You're not getting anywhere with this von Borchert.
You know, I kind of get the same feeling, my dear Sarah. Listen. Nothing. Not a sound. No one's coming to save you.
Huh, that's what you think. The Golden Order knows exactly where we are.
By the time your ridiculous secret society turns up, I'll be long gone. As for you, nothing will remain of your body.
If you touch a single hair on my mother's head, I'll skin you alive.
You know, Louis, I have no intention of beating your dear mother. There are more persuasive ways of making you talk. You've stolen something from me that I intend to get back. Where have you hidden it?
Von Borchert, you can't sell that book on the black market anymore. This is finished.
We know you're planning on selling at one of Lord Mortimer's parties. All right? Just tell us who the buyer is and we can make a deal.
You've no idea of the trouble you've gotten yourselves into. Oh, but you will tell me where it's hidden. I can promise you that.
Stop annoying our host, Louis. Son, didn't what happened to you in Rome teach you anything?
Just a few more minutes and my concoction will be ready. With this, your bodies will dissolve in less than 4 hours. You'll see. It loosens tongues in no time.
You know, I have to admit, Mother, the only thing you've ever taught me is that damn motto of yours. Always remain rational. And open. I got it. I've opened our shackles.
Draw him over here. I'll take care of him.
Von Borchert! Von Borchert!
Hmm?
Listen. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you where the book is if you let my mother go free.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Don't worry, Mother.
You want to play the hero. Pity you're not in any position to do so. For the last time. Where is Al-Azif?
Привет, как раз начало.
Trust me.
Please, be my guest, Mother.
Well done, Louis. You reacted perfectly.
How do you feel, Mother?
Couldn't be better. He's alive, so I can question him after we get back. Pity he's just a middleman. Means I haven't finished with this case.
Oh, I had a feeling you'd be running off on one of your adventures again, Mother. You know what? I'm warning you. This time, I'm coming with you.
No. Even though you impress me more and more, I have to do this on my own.
Mother, you're no spring chicken anymore.
Come on, let's go home. And don't forget to send our men to tend to von Borchert.
Well done, Mother. You just had to pick up Von Berchardt's trail on your own, didn't you? You ditched me in Paris with no explanation, and off you go to infiltrate one of the world-renowned receptions of this Lord Mortimer? And now he writes me to say that you've gone missing on his private island? Which, by the way, looks more like a big rock than a paradise island.
The least he could do is explain to me how he managed to lose you. In any case, it is time for you to stop all this, Mother. It no longer suits your age. Well, I'm sure I'll find you once again, slogging through the caves beneath the island, searching for some long-lost mystical object that you just can't live without. I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think
Contrary
about
to
it.
what one may be able to imagine, it was not the host himself who invited me.
Well now, Duchess, we find ourselves both invited by Sir Holm.
Well, how very amusing. Perhaps we have some common interests, Your Eminence. Is this your first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, we have been friends since long ago. But as I'm doing some business with Sir Holm, the invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
And you, good sir, what brings you here?
Lord Mortimer asked me to join him. We have some business to take care of.
Oh, how mysterious. You adapt quickly, my son. You get along here like a fish in water. Would you believe that we are all here hoping to solve our personal issues? You'll see.
Right. I doubt that you came here to look for your mother, Your Eminence.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island. And only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
That's right. Until now, I've never been invited by Lord Mortimer.
You'll see. You won't soon forget it.
Given what I've seen so far, I wish I'd been passed over.
Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious. If I'd known, I would have gone for a better suit.
Are you all right?
Mother? Oh shit, your hand!
So?
Okay, it's done.
Did you put it in a safe place?
Yes. I made sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah, no one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
No, Mother, no, don't!
What? Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't. No. No!
You can run if you want to, Sarah, but you will pay.
Hugh.
Louis, are you all right? What's going on? Here, take this.
I'm sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's getting late. Why don't you go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes! I'm sorry. I'm sure, yes.
Fine.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly.
Am I going crazy or what? This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake? I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
Louis, during the trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we've met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Well, over the last few years, I've solved a number of crime cases. Like the chauffeur d'Angers, for example.
thieves that tortured their victims with burning embers.
Charming. How did you catch them?
I told the most cowardly one that the others had given him up.
Ah, and I wager your thief suddenly started to talk.
You wouldn't believe it. He told us everything. The jobs, the stashes, the names of his partners. Couldn't shut him up.
I heard about that case, but I didn't know you were the one who solved it.
I'm flattered that the news made it across the channel. And you've got a darn good memory, Duchess.
Well, they say I have the memory of two people. But please, call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
Please excuse me, madam. I'm sure we've met before, but I don't remember where.
I appreciate your honesty, even if it's not very flattering for me.
I imagine that with your beauty, madam, it's the first time a man hasn't remembered your face.
Well, I must say you make up for yourself rather elegantly.
Please stop torturing me. I'm completely at your mercy. Where have we met?
4 years ago, in London?
No. Sorry, I don't remember.
In the office of William Pitt. Remember? No?
I'm so sorry, Emily, but I really don't remember you.
Let's drop it, Louis. It doesn't matter. Right, time to go to the manor.
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me? Emily, please excuse my insisting, but you still haven't answered about my mother. Do you know her?
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
I don't know where we're going like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart. Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Мортимер. Блин, а я все это время читала все без этого, без микрофона, оказывается. Еще сижу такая, все рассуждаю, думаю, блин, что лучше взять, это или то. Короче, он написал, что месяц назад пригласила его мамку к себе погостить, и она что-то пропала куда-то. Окей. Так, журнал. Герцогиня. О происхождении мало что известно. На политической арене она оказалась после свадьбы с пожилым английским аристократом, вероятно, вступив в брак по расчету. Герцогиня действует осторожно, но выступает за свободу личности, придерживается современных взглядов и пользуется большим уважением знати. Сначала Эмили была любимой посланницей королевы, а потом стала личным секретарем премьер-министра Уильяма Питта. Это назначение породило массу слухов и вызвало всеобщую зависть. Эмили, уже бывшая на острове, с радостью приняла приглашение сэра Грегори Холма на знаменитый прием, который в очередной раз устраивал лорд Уильям Мортимер. Луи. Молодой парижский аристократ, единственный сын Сары. Блин, у меня что-то с чатом. Ой. Так, Луи с самого детства общался с теми же людьми, что и его мать. Поэтому неудивительно, что в 14 лет он вступил в Золотой Орден, тайное общество, которое возглавляла Сара. Мальчик схватывал на лету, но страдал от хронической головной боли и был вынужден принимать лекарства, прописанные матерью. Поднимаясь по карьерной лестнице, Луи стал известен как знаток оккультизма и, наконец, получил возможность помогать самой Саре. К нынешнему возрасту он успел оправдать надежды своей матери. Все говорит о том, что в один прекрасный день юный Луи возглавит Золотой Орден. Пьяджо. Его высокопросвященство кардинал Джузеппе Пьяджо, посол папы Пия, господи, VI. Выдающийся оратор Джузеппе посвятил свою жизнь служению римско-католической церкви. Узнав о его образованности и увлечении философией, папа Римский тайно нарек Пьяджо кардиналом. Пьяджо находился в доверительных отношениях с Пием и помог ему направлять верующих. Пьяджо прибыл в особняк по приглашению сэра Грегори, желая повидать своего старого знакомого лорда Мортимера и представить интересы Ватикана. А 34 года назад Сара возглавила одно из самых влиятельных тайных обществ Золотой Орден. Сильная воля и железный характер помогли ей попасть в высший свет. После этого ордену стало известно обо всем: о торговых сделках, государственных тайнах, паранормальных явлениях. Сара добилась того, что влияние ордена распространилось на Америку, Европу и Центральную Африку. Кроме того, она основала оккультный кружок внутри ордена. Сара намеревалась передать дела своему сыну Луи и готовила его к этому с раннего детства. Так, а где тут посмотреть, типа вот эти самые типа слабости и так далее. Потому что, вот, допустим, я типа у нее узнала. А, вот, устойчивость к логике у нее есть. Поняла. Типа логика с ней не прокатит. Угу. Оки-доки.
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richer.
Monsieur de Richer. Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richer's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
What can you tell me about the disappearance of my mother?
2 weeks have passed since Sir's mother went missing. All the staff here have since been busy searching every nook and cranny of the island. But Sir may rest assured, we shouldn't be long in finding her.
And just what have you found so far?
It would seem that Sir's mother may be hiding on the island and regularly changing her location. But no one seems to know why she would find this behavior necessary.
What do you mean?
On several occasions, we have found leftovers of food, a few of her things, or even traces of campsites. The reason why we are searching the wharf again is because lights were spotted there last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to
Потому
our
что у женщины
information,
есть своя
lights were
логика.
seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
Так, навыки позволяют давать особые ответы и совершать разные поступки. Чтобы применить навык, необходимы очки действий. Чем выше уровень вашего навыка, тем ниже стоимость его применения. Окей.
And did you find anything then?
We discovered a certain amount of damage, sir, on the wooden part of the wharf.
What type of damage?
Broken barrels, mainly. We'll do whatever is necessary to have them rapidly repaired. But quite frankly, I can't imagine what Sir's mother would have been doing with them.
What could Mother have been doing with barrels?
Nevertheless, our search of the wharf hasn't been entirely unsuccessful, though.
What do you mean?
We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richet. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here. Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
Give me the handkerchief. I'll personally show it to Lord Mortimer.
Well,
I've traveled hard for several days in order to get here.
Yes, but...
Invited by your master.
No, of course, but...
Because my mother went missing right under your nose.
Sir, please.
And having only just arrived, you refused to give me her personal belongings?
Of course not, sir. It was never my intention to contradict, sir. Here you are. I must return now. It is still much to prepare in order to welcome all the guests.
Хорошо, он уже пожалел, что он тут
It is
вообще
indeed
находился.
your handkerchief, Mother.
О,
She
Никитушка,
must have
привет.
come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing
Кит,
out
ты
here on
уже
this
вернулся
wharf?
из заточения? R2 как неудобно. А там еще тоже что-то было.
Wooden floorboard.
А, ты еще там.
Judging by the splinters of the wood, this floorboard has been ripped up. It was in decent condition. I wonder why someone ripped it up. What's the point of doing this? Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed. Hey, there's something not right about this floorboard. It's different from the rest. There we go. Let's see what's hidden inside. There's a book and also a bag.
О, это вещи.
The
Наверное,
Mysterium
его мама.
Cosmographicum. I know that book well. Mother used to read
хорошо,
passages from it to me
месяц.
all the time. And judging from what I can see, it's the same one as hers. For crying out loud! What's
Давай,
happened to you, Mother?
Кит, радуга ждет. По мере прохождения вы будете черпать знания из литературных трудов. Перед началом каждого задания вы можете выбрать манускрипт, получить очки навыков.
Let's look inside the bag. A little food, a few toiletries, a small key, and some kind of black powder. The bottom of the bag is covered in black powder. An iron key completely rusted. You never know. It might be useful. Hope Mother wasn't counting on it. Some fruit, a piece of bacon, and some bread. The fruit's still firm. The bread's a bit stale. From the smell, this food's been here roughly 2 days. And if it's rationed, there's enough left to last 2 more days. Shit, those are definitely my mother's things. I recognize her hairpins. This bag smells of her perfume. A piece of soap, some oils, and her powder puff. What does all this mean? Right, that's enough. I think I better leave her bag here. If she hid all this, it's because she thought she might need it later. For crying out loud. Why did you hide supplies in the middle of nowhere, Mother? I don't know what's going on here, but you obviously feel like you're in danger.
Так, вроде тут больше ничего не было.
Pound.
Так, ну это сопка.
Locked. I'll never get it open barehanded.
Так, может, это ключ у меня есть, нет?
There we are. This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful.
Great. Honey.
Honey.
This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. Apparently, someone on this island has gone through a whole lot of trouble to arm themselves. I really must find you, dear Mother.
Каждые 4 осколка будет получать одно дополнительное очко действия.
A fragment of amber.
Ну, вроде тут все. Больше ничего нет. Можем попробовать, конечно, вернуть туда, откуда приплыли. Типа, может, там еще что-то есть. Потому что он сказал, что, типа, нашли там.
The sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any. Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time. A lantern. Nothing special. Let's see what's hidden inside. Let's look. A letter written in an Oriental language. I haven't the slightest idea what it says.
Блин, я прокачать не могу навык. А я теперь вообще, да, не могу, типа, это... Жалко.
This envelope is meant for the Vatican. This name sounds familiar. Pashi. No. Can't seem to place it.
Да, чтобы найти мамку.
An address in Cairo, Egypt.
Привет, кот.
Mortimer communicates with the whole world, apparently. Probably a Dutchman.
Ну, даже не читает, он такой, ага, это этот. Бля, мне ничего не доступно.
Nope. Doesn't ring a bell. It's too badly written, I can't make out the address.
Он конченый, вообще ничего не может читать.
The address is 50 Bedford Square, London. The address is in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That reminds me, it's about time the Order sent some envoys there.
Так, вот тут я, по-моему, вот это...
An
это я
address in
смотрела, да?
Cairo, Egypt. Mortimer communicates with the whole world, apparently.
Да я думала, он типа их будет открывать и читать, а он такой, не понимаю, не понял, не знаю, непонятно. И все, бля. Я думала, он там почитает. Так, ну здесь вроде больше ничего нет. Да, так себе зимой детектив. Я вот выбирала в начале, типа, между дипломатом и этим.
It's like the barrel's been broken for quite some time.
И детективом. И там вот, если ты выбираешь дипломата, то ты на иностранном языке можешь письма читать. Или артефакты.
Latin inscription. En nesis, mi fili quantilia produncia mundus ergatur.
Перевести это не могу, клево. А, по сезонам, да?
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
Не знаю, лучше это выбор или нет, но вот оккультист, мне кажется, вообще ни о чем. Хотя, может быть, когда я вот получу очко навыков, я смогу прокачивать остальные типа навыки. И не только детектива.
Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Ricci, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope.
Мне передай, я
But
там.
I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
В ходе разговора вам необходимо преодолеть несколько этапов и завоевать доверие собеседника. Исход противостояния оказывает непосредственное влияние на развитие сюжета, поэтому не забывайте пользоваться навыками.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Я могу сказать, неважно, отдай мне письмо, сука.
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
Надо сказать, что... Ага, это я не могу выбирать.
My mother and I belong to the same secret organization, the Golden Order, which I joined a few years ago. Mother trained me, and I assist in her research. In other words, you can trust me.
My child, you are telling a perfect stranger that you and your mother work for a secret society.
Блин, я не то выбрала.
It would seem that discretion is not one of your specialities, my son. You will understand that it does not encourage me to put my trust in you.
Shit.
I don't trust you, bitch.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary.
А я думала, он типа шарит,
Is there any other
что мы
solution?
типа, ну...
Look,
окей.
if it's of any help, you can always leave
Странные.
your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now,
Подождите,
we have
черепах, давай
always
не
dealt with her
смотрюсь,
in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Only you know that, Your Eminence. If you're asking me if you can trust me, or if I can keep a
Короче,
secret,
дед
I would
любит,
answer
когда ему
yes.
подлизываешь.
Absolutely.
I understand.
In truth, it all depends on the nature of the contents of your letter.
It is a list of names.
This list must be of extreme importance.
Ah, if only you knew. It's a list of people that your mother must help. Listen to me.
Монстр.
If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
На последний этап вы должны убедить своего собеседника, выбрав нужную реплику. Если вы дадите неправильный ответ, этап будет повторяться до тех пор, пока вы не сделаете верный выбор или не совершите максимально допустимое количество ошибок. Клево.
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen,
Ну я его
let's stop
наебала.
there.
Я его прочитаю сама.
I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur Lelouch. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to
Конечно,
look
открыть,
what
что
it
решать-то? Многие улики и предметы в игре спрятаны. Они могут повлиять на развитие сюжета, поэтому внимательно осматривайтесь по сторонам. Поняли? Внимательно. Внимательно. Так, тут какая-то книжка. Можно потрогать.
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Так, смындили книжечку.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi? He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
А, он этот, короче, из наших.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, We shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I have already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision. My vision is more important. Let's follow home.
I'll follow you, sir. Mr. Washington, I hope to speak with you at greater length on another occasion. Emily, please excuse me, but I would like to speak to Sir Holm. I shall see you later.
My friend, I hope our dear Giovanni is well.
The troubles in France have fatigued him, but he would recover slowly. Do not fear. He apologizes for remaining in Rome. The voyage was too much for him.
And right he was too. The mildness of the Mediterranean. Come, sit down and have something to eat, my friend. You look rather pale. Excuse me, sir. I have been neglecting my duty. I haven't introduced myself. Sir Gregory Holm, an old friend of Lord Mortimer's.
A real pleasure, sir.
You who must be well used to the court of France. How do you find this peaceful little haven?
Charming if I hadn't come here for disturbing reasons.
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Indeed. I wanted to ask you, would you have any information about the disappearance of my mother?
Very little, I'm afraid, my young friend. Your mother came at the invitation of Lord Mortimer. Then, one fine day, we couldn't find her anywhere.
That's it?
As I said, I don't know very much.
Странно то, что этот священник сидит такой, да, она пропала.
We
Я
found
нихера об этом
no
не знал.
clue as to her disappearance. But I am convinced that as soon as Lord Mortimer becomes available, he will explain the situation.
Thank you for your answers, Sir Holm. But I beg your pardon. I get the impression I know you. Have we met?
Except in my dreams, of course.
Not that I remember, young man. Perhaps you are mistaking me for another member of the Chamber of Lords. What with the wig and the powder, it wouldn't be the first time.
Накрасился он, конечно,
you were
вообще
definitely the one I saw threatening my mother.
I thought... Never mind. It'll come back.
Ой, это кто такая?
Would you allow me one last question, sir? I don't want to take up all your time.
Please, go ahead. What do you want to know?
Sir, do you know Emily Hillsborough?
Oh, Madame la Duchesse. Of course. It was I who invited her to the island.
Do you know of any link between her and my mother?
Not really, no. They may well have met at the court of King George, but I can't be sure about that.
No dispute between them, then?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And even if Duchess Hillsborough is a complex woman to understand, I honestly can't imagine her in a conflict with the famous Sara de Ricci.
Там оргазм, что ли?
Elizabeth!
Это что?
I should have insisted that you rest in your room.
Do you want me to call someone?
Let me handle this. I'm used to this kind of thing. Miss, can you hear me?
Leave me.
Her breathing is becoming stable and...
Снимай трусы давай.
Her heart rate, too.
Pale complexion, thin, broken nails, an enormous scar on her temple, tattoos on her hands. I don't know what happened to you, Missy, but it looks like you've been through hell.
Can you tell me something about her? Who is this young lady?
Elizabeth Adams. She's come to the island for a course of treatment, to rest.
For a course of treatment?
That's right. Seer can do wonders. Are you all right, Elizabeth? Do you feel any better?
When did she arrive?
4 days ago.
Okay. My mother had already gone missing. She's just regained consciousness and she immediately reaches for her brooch? I don't know exactly what it means to her, but obviously it's got to be something important.
Are you all right, Elizabeth? You gave us quite a fright.
Take it easy, miss.
Let me... I just need to get back to my room.
Of course, my dear. Go ahead. You saw it, didn't you?
Pardon me?
I segni della bestia.
Sorry, Your Eminence. I don't speak Italian.
Forget it. It doesn't matter.
Gentlemen, it's getting late. It is time for everyone to go to bed. It has been a long day.
Но пока что все здесь происходящее требует навыка дипломата. В большинстве случаев.
It's all the more delicate.
I'll see what I can do, but the case I'm on at the moment might well leave me with very few opportunities.
Опа, тёлочка.
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
А, чё у него с лицом?
Oh, it's naughty to tell lies. Bet my life that you were talking about something totally different from the decoration of the manor. But to find out what, I should have stayed with them. Too bad.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
Sir Hall, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Just mentioning Elizabeth totally changed Washington's attitude. Looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence.
Washington looks surprised, but Holmes doesn't seem to see it. I wonder if he's being polite or if he really doesn't see his discomfort.
On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
А почему он в маске ходит? Слуга народа. Присика. Ну да.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
А я не могу
my
с
friends,
герцогиней
I am
переночевать?
bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Oh man, it's been quite a day.
Так она зашла
Right.
в первую комнату.
Where is my room?
Блин, а к ней нельзя. Жалко.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Сказала, что справа, типа, в другой стороне. Но я хочу здесь посмотреть.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Пипец комнатки, да, для гостей?
Huh, that's me.
Так, я туда пока не хочу.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Пипец тут, конечно. А чё меня так далеко от герцогини? Вот это. Отсадили.
President George Washington.
Так, к нему я точно не хочу. Ага, здесь не написано. Ага. Это мы типа вернулись так?
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
А, нет, не вернулись. Чё-то как-то странно. А, вот если, наверное, туда зайти. Нет, там еще выше. Пипец. Что там моргнуло? А, туда нельзя. А, можно? Нет, нельзя. А, вот отсюда, да, наверное, мы приперлись, нет? Нет. А где мамкина комната тогда? Она же здесь тоже где-то должна быть. Ну.
Jacques Perru?
Перу? Что, француз, что ли?
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Нифига себе. Бонапарт. Офигеть. Капец, он, да, приехал пожить так, потусоваться? Президент, блин, Бонапарт вообще. Герцогиня сисястые.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Так, ну к ней меня не пускают. Открой. Ладно, пойдем в комнату. Вроде больше ничего нет. Это не моя. Вон там моя, да? А, вот моя.
Right. So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Piaggi's trust. What should I do?
Ну, типа, а с другой стороны, на кой хер мне вообще эти имена? Ну, типа... А может быть, он мне напиздел, что там просто имена какие-то написаны? Если есть вот такая тема, значит, он завтра спросит с меня это письмо. Давай не будем открывать.
Can't wait to open it, but I gave my word to Piaggi, so... Too bad. I'll wait until I hand it to Mother. Wow! Nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway.
Вода позволяет сосредоточиться и не расходовать очки действий на применение следующего навыка. Можно сохранить более 5 склянок. Мед нужен, чтобы восстанавливать. Вот слева внизу, видишь, капельки.
Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with an image of a saint hearing voices. Judith beheading Holofernes. Ironic in a way, when you know that the artist represented herself as Judith beheading her mentor, who had raped her.
Да, так себе картина, конечно, тут у вас.
Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son. The Conversion of St. Paul by Caravaggio. It's incredible. It doesn't look like a copy, but I was sure the original was in Rome. St. Francis of Assisi in ecstasy, before superior voices. It always amuses me to see how art gets used for propaganda purposes.
взламывать я ничего не умею, потому что я без руки.
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Капец хорома, конечно, да? Нормально, я бы так тоже в гости ездила, чё? О, а я туда перебраться не могу. Мне кажется, я... Нормально, можно. Там закрыто.
A Byzance.
Электронные предметы. Монеты. Нафиг оно мне все надо, правильно? Тоже так думаю. Ну, так-то красиво, конечно. Ну, фиг знает. Мне кажется, он типа завтра скажет: друг мой, а где письмо? Я такая ему отдам, он такой: ах ты сука такая. Понял?
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Так, что мы тут еще не потрогали? Вот, а нам надо с дедом типа подружиться. Я думаю, там ничего особо интересного прям такого нету, как мне кажется.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
Это чё? А, это книжка. Ну, погнали. Да в смысле, я еще не все посмотрела. Не, мне кажется, не сработает. Да я тебе говорю, там ничего интересного стопудово нет. Я вошел в особняк. Это успех. Обнаружил вещи мамки, уговорил Пьяджи передать мне письмо, познакомился с мистером Вашингтоном. Пошел с сэром Грегори в малую гостиную, нашел странную книгу на причале, заметил странную брошь на платье Элизабет. Наблюдал за сэром Грегори. Я не смог найти на причале все зацепки, оставленные матушкой. Ну, блядь, извините. Я мог остаться в вестибюле, чтобы побеседовать с мистером Вашингтоном. Опа, уровень прокачали. Это хорошо. Вот. Я хочу языкознание. Вот. Потому что нам оно надо. Я так поняла, что здесь без него что-то как-то не это. Так, еще обычно там требуется уклонение, политика в жопу. Все, у меня больше очков нет. О, ну-ка давай вот это вот прокачаем до конца как раз. Сейчас вы можете выбрать, какой манускрипт будет читать ваш персонаж. После выполнения задания прочтенный манускрипт принесет вам дополнительные очки навыков. Шоция. Научное эссе, сочетающее в себе точные астрономические наблюдения и новейшие математические формулы. Сборник биографий выдающихся мужей, где подробно рассказано об их жизни и великих деяниях. Метод анализа характера человека на основе его внешности и особенностей черт лица. Мне кажется, вот это вот полезная шляпа. Все. Шикарно. Сердце куртизан. Тут только две куртизанки. Одна из них какая-то стрёмная белобрысая, а вторая такая секси-шмекси герцогиня, но не легкодоступная. Так, что происходит?
Your turn? The servants are not very efficient.
Durocher can't be far away. They'll find her soon. Their search time is restricted, given that they must keep an eye on Adams.
I can take care of her, you know.
Yes. Well, in any case, I do thank you for bringing her to the island.
From what I've understood, the search of Durocher's room hasn't turned up any results.
Not yet, no. But we've put her son in there. Perhaps he'll find something.
That might come in handy.
Louis grows impatient at not yet having met the famous Lord Mortimer.
He will meet him tomorrow.
Oh, what a pity to lose a knight at the start of the game. Are you waiting for someone?
A young French soldier.
During our game of chess?
Don't worry, Gregory. The game won't disappear. I'll have one of my men escort you back.
Don't trouble yourself. I know my way out.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Please forgive me for this late hour.
It is never too late. And we have much to discuss. One last move?
Yeah.
Don't worry. Our games always seem to end like this.
Or always start like this. Come, take a seat, my friend.
Он типа видит прошлое, что ли? Или это настоящее? Понятно, как.
A little nighttime stroll, Mr. President?
There's nothing like it for a good night's sleep.
Do not hesitate to ask a servant to show you back.
The corridors seem quite safe.
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian. My miracle remedy when one can't get to sleep. A very good night to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And to you too, sir.
Это он, типа, вот эта скряга старая. Непонятно пока что. О, Вашингтон стучит в двери. Значит, мы, короче, в реальном времени тусуемся где-то. Давай, погнали, быстрее вставай, ёба. Давай, погнали, быстрее. А вдруг нам эта герцогиня пришла, ну? Раздевайся. Сейчас можно.
Dear Monsieur Durocher, please excuse me, but I am
К
unable
сожалению,
to
пока не
join
могу
you
встретиться
at
с вами,
present.
тем не менее, мы делаем
However,
все возможное,
rest
чтобы
assured
наши
that we are
поиски
doing
увенчались
all we
успехом.
can
Предлагаю
to
письмо
resolve the
ключу,
case
чтобы
that
мы могли
concerns
забрать
us.
личные вещи своей
By the
матери.
way,
С уважением, Лорд
enclosed
Уильям
you will find a
Мортимер.
key.
Да подожди ты, ёб твою мать. Что-то неугомонный такой. Вдруг сейчас что-нибудь найду.
The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio represented St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Thomas looks on, but doesn't touch.
Банка якорцев. Настойка якорцев повышает эмпатию. Некоторое время вы будете видеть, к чему ваш собеседник испытывает устойчивую слабость. Может хранить не более 5 банок. Ты посмотри, какой, а? Дотошный. Так, здесь закрыто. Здесь закрыто. Сука старая.
Excuse me. Am I bothering you?
No, not in the least. Is something wrong?
I'm going to need your help. Do you remember the young lady we spoke of in the hall?
Uh-huh.
I bumped into her in the small salon before.
Well, she is the daughter of my friend, the Vice President, John Adams. but she is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Fair enough.
Good heavens! I was present at her funeral.
It is disturbing indeed.
Yes. I need to make sure it's her. That's where you come in. I want you to distract Elizabeth while I search her room. And perhaps get my hands on some important information. At least I hope so. Elizabeth is in the small salon. If you hurry, you can still catch her. I just need 10 minutes.
But if my vision is true, there are two men nearby discussing very important issues, and one of them looks much like Mortimer. Washington is very kind, but I came to this island for my mother, not for his ghost stories.
Ну, я же видела комнату Наполеона. Значит, видение мое правильное. Ну, давай поможем ему.
Count on me, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Keep Elizabeth downstairs as long as possible. She must not return to her room.
Может быть, он из тех, раз у него такая походочка. Блин, мне интересно, конечно, я ничего не понимаю, типа, что происходит.
According to Washington, Lady Adams is in the small salon. I better hurry.
В малой гостиной. Откуда я, блин, знаю, где тут малая гостиная? Вы что, гоните, что ли? Второй этаж. А, вот она, малая гостиная. Короче, мне надо... Куда? Мне надо на этаж ниже. Погнали.
Louis, you're straying from your objective.
Почему? Мне же вроде на этаж ниже, нет? Ладно, окей. Да, лестница типа вот здесь слева, окей. Опа, 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 опа.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Книжки есть какие-нибудь? Опа, здорово, братан. Что делаешь?
My son. Oh, you are a godsend.
What's the matter, Your Eminence?
I believe Miss Adams may be in danger.
What do you mean?
Do you hear that? She is being manhandled in the small salon.
Кто-то ее избивает, поэтому я тут
I don't know
тусуюсь.
exactly. A thug, a Frenchman, it seems. By the cut of his cloth, I'd say he's a member of the French Revolutionary Government. You should do something, my son.
Shit. I was supposed to make sure Adams wouldn't go back to her room. Don't worry, Your Eminence. I'll take care of it. Probably nothing to worry about.
Do you want me to call for help?
Please don't do anything. I'm sure with a little goodwill, everything will work out fine. Don't go and wake up the whole manor, please.
Thank you, my son. May God watch over you.
А я не поняла, это я не то делаю?
Who do you think you are?
Не, все то. Вы можете достичь цели разным способом, тщательно обдумайте свое решение перед тем, как сделать выбор.
Me, sir.
If we were in France, I'd have sent you to the guillotine for what you just said.
Please, just let me go back to my room.
Hey, you! Stay out of it! This is none of your business. I'm gonna teach this little slut how to behave.
What the hell is going on?
Huh? I don't think you know who I am.
Stop. I beg you. I didn't mean to. Don't hit me, please, sir.
Что она сделала?
Shit. If I step in, Adams might just run back to her room. And if I do nothing, yes, Washington will have enough time to search, but this girl's gonna suffer. Damn it, what should I do?
You filthy whore!
I apologize. Have mercy. Please have mercy. No!
I apologize. Nah, nah, nah. Mercy, have mercy. Nah, nah, nah.
Но она же не просто
Where's
так
that
веща
smart mouth
получает.
now? I'll teach you a little respect. Huh?
Look, you dumbass! Are you deaf? She said she was sorry.
call me that again.
Leave her alone.
Are you looking for a slap, Sonny? That's what I thought. Now get out! I have to deal with this dirty slut.
Че, он реально уйдет просто? Ха, прикольно. О, обыскал.
Well, did you get time to search the room?
Yes, I found out many things.
Good.
Did Elizabeth give you any trouble?
Elizabeth? No.
Well, you could have mentioned she was with a raving maniac, huh?
What do you mean?
She was with a Frenchman. He was about to beat her when I arrived.
What the devil are you talking about?
I thought he was gonna kill the poor girl.
Did you intervene?
I did what was necessary to give you enough time to search her room.
Good work, my friend. I knew that I could count on you.
So tell me, did you find any information?
Oh, yes. What I found is likely to upset you.
What do you mean by that?
Elizabeth is indeed the daughter of John Adams.
Why pass her off as dead?
I found her medical file. It appears that for many years, your mother was her personal doctor. From what I read, she behaved more like a butcher than a doctor.
What are you talking about? I'm not a child. What's going on here?
John believed that his daughter was possessed. He appealed to your mother to save her, but the treatment she inflicted on the poor child... My God.
Look, stop beating around the bush. What exactly did she do to her?
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
Пытает. Ну хер ее знает.
My mother would never do something like that.
But she did. And with the blessing of the Order.
No, she wouldn't go that far. Prove it. Show me that file.
I left it in her room so as not to arouse suspicion.
My mother's not a monster.
I do not doubt that your mother meant well. But the techniques described in the file, it is pure torture.
Please. I need some time alone.
I have seen some horrors in my time. But if what is written in these damned documents is true, be brave, my boy.
В принципе, что смысл ему врать? Это, во-первых, потому что он же в Ордене в этом состоит, и он типа сказал, что Орден им приказал мамке.
Golden elixir. Consume without excess.
Да вот, я не знаю, типа, ну, блин, он, наверное, не просто так, кто-то еще чувак начал эту бабу бить, называть ее шлендрой. Типа, наверное, она что-то ему сказала или сказала: о, пойдем, типа, потусуемся у меня в комнате. А он такой: слышь, ты, шлендра. Ну, наверное. Что это?
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Я не могу вернуться в ту комнату. Закрыто. Ну и все, походу, мне наверх только остается идти. Здесь тоже закрыто. Вернитесь в постель. Ой, эта мадам еще закрыта. Никуда она там не ходит.
Your Eminence, what are you doing here?
I was worried about you, my son. How did it go with Miss Adams?
It could have been worse. Let's say that Miss Adams will remember it for a couple of days.
What? Did you not intervene?
Of course not. What did you want me to do? That thug could have snapped me in half in 2 seconds.
So, you prefer to let that fragile young lady take a beating rather than risk getting slapped around a bit yourself?
ты какого хуя не
Mr.
помог,
Deriche,
пидор старый,
your
а?
mother would not have been proud.
Пошел ты
Listen,
нахер.
next time it happens, join me instead of hiding behind the door. If you're gonna talk big, back it up.
Вот именно.
You should be ashamed.
Сильно сутулая.
I will pray for your soul.
Да-да-да, иди молись.
My son, I have another problem. I wanted to
еще
speak to you
проблема, да?
about something important.
Ну,
Do
сука,
you
смотри,
still
какая.
have my letter on you?
Ой, я ж
When I
тебе
give
говорю,
you
он
the
обратно
phone?
скажет, давай
Why
мне
do you
это.
ask?
Отдай
I
мне.
have a name to add to it.
Here it is.
На.
Thank you, my son. Ah, I see that it's still sealed. I was right to put my trust in you, Louise. Give me 1 second, please.
Вот после этого мы можем уже
I
его
can't
открыть, в
imagine what
принципе.
would have happened if I hadn't added this name to the list. Please, be sure to give this letter to Sarah the moment you see her.
You can count on it.
Have a good night.
Пошел отсюда. Да там старый наехал, что мы типа бабу не защитили. Такой, типа, какого хрена ты, типа, это, ну, типа, леща не получил. Он такой говорит, а ты какого хрена за дверью стоял? Мог бы помочь мне.
I'm exhausted. I better go to bed. I'll search my room tomorrow. If Mother stayed here right before me, you never know. And Mortimer had better show up.
Блин. По сути, ничего полезного-то мы не узнали, конечно. И можно было пойти и посмотреть, о чем там этот говорит. Ну, что поделаешь. Так. Почему бы и нет? У меня еще 3 очка. А где эта шляпа? А, я не могу его... А, могу. Окей. Вот прокачала. Шикардосно. Да папаня вообще странный тип.
All right. In my vision yesterday, I saw that Mother had this room before me. I better search the room. Who knows? Maybe she left me something behind.
Ну, теперь мы можем вскрыть шкатулку. Так, что мы это прочитали, нет? Походу, да. понятное дело, что ничего.
The torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance. A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. If I remember rightly, that's called a cash.
Кстати, балкон полночью закрыт. Сейчас скрою, погоди. Почему всегда камера вверх поднимается? А, я думала, я с той стороны... Типа, в смысле, я же вышел на балкон вон там? Или что, я что-то путаю?
This room looks unoccupied.
А, это типа чужая комната, извините. Здесь вроде ничего интересного нет, мы же смотрели все шлеп.
Golden elixir.
Тьфу, там просто эликсир лежит. Может, вот тут еще что-то есть. Смотри, сундук.
I haven't even had time to unpack my cases.
А, это его чемодан.
Dear Monsieur de Richet.
А, ну это мы уже читали.
Last Judgment. Why do I always get the most terrifying room? Writing material. From what I see, no ink's ever been used on this quill. The smell reminds me of something. It smells like lemon. That's odd.
А, тот чувак, помнишь, говорил, типа, у меня есть эликсир, там что-то чай, мята, мята, лимон, что-то еще какая-то шляпа.
The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Thomas looks on, but doesn't touch. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Look, markings on the floor. Just a bit worn out. I was hoping to find something leading to a secret passage. Oh, this bookcase is well stocked. Oh, this book has been put back the wrong way round. A Voyage Around the World. The travelogue of the explorer, Louis-Antoine de Bougainville. One of Mother's favorite books. What a coincidence. And I don't believe in coincidences. It's just too much. I don't know what's going on here, but if you felt threatened, I'll bet you'd leave a clue, wouldn't you, Mother? Found it. A faint sign of the order, barely visible. Mother, you undoubtedly must have hidden a clue in this book. Let's see if I can find anything else in this room. The paper's rougher around the writing. The paper's moist here. Very light stain, barely visible. And the smell reminds me of something. Come on, Louis, think. Think.
А если взять то перо и что-нибудь пошкрябать в книге?
Let's recap. My mother was in this room. I found a rare edition of her favorite book. She must have left something behind. She applied a liquid to the book. She must have used the writing materials. The quill has been used, but not with regular ink. A message using invisible ink. I bet she used the limit to leave a message. Now, how do I reveal the message? The message is illegible. I have to keep searching.
А, типа мне надо что-то найти. Ой, да ёб твою мать. Нечаянно. Пусти.
The message is illegible. I have to keep searching.
Отойди, пожалуйста. Спасибо. Короче, это что-то, мне кажется, должно быть. А чем проявляется лимонный сок вообще? А, пепел накидать, ну. И пойти посыпать. Так, щик-щик-щик. Давай. Сыпь. Быстрей.
Damn, I'm making a serious mess here. It's no good. Might have worked if the writing had left marks in the paper, but no. There's only traces of lemon.
And then one.
Luckily, I've only put ash on part of the message.
Ладно, окей. Ошибочка вышла.
There's a circle around the lock here. Must be the trunk Mortimer was talking about. The key should open it.
А мне здесь ключ? Ну ладно, клево. Типа лимон, лимон. Лимонный мед, что ли, или что это? Не
There's a note. Effects of Sal de Richer to be given to her son, Louis. I should probably take it. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
А, это осколки янтаря всего лишь. Так, окей, что может... Лимон, типа, это самое... Я думала, если, типа, он мокрый, то он, типа, аккуратненько посыпет и, короче, ну, все сойдет с дебет-кредитом. А он что-то нет. О, лимоны, кстати.
When I was a boy, I used to love making secret messages with lemon juice. Handy for writing them, but useless for making them appear.
Я не знаю, нахера нам лимон, но ладно. Так, мед нам не нужен. Так, окей, что еще тут есть? Может, это вообще что-то не находящееся в комнате?
This room looks unoccupied.
Да ты запарил. Ладно, значит, надо взять, может быть, и перо надо это взять, или чернила надо взять, я не знаю. Так, мне надо сожрать меду. Мне недоступно. Но я просто больше не знаю, что здесь еще можно бахнуть. Я думала, кстати, мед восстанавливает.
Ah, secret writing. Many people use this method for their secret
типа над огнем
correspondences.
подержать, что ли?
Light the flame and the ink appears.
Куда она её
Well, I think
всунула?
I've searched everywhere. Maybe I should try it out on the book.
Ай, простите. Сейчас я тут мед возьму.
Great. Honey.
Honey. Хорошо, я чернилами не бахнул. Я бы сказала, что всё. Ой.
Aha! It's working. The heat reveals the message. Let's see what my mother wrote. Where all eyes size you up, you must pass by the Gorgon. Gorgon was the name of Medusa in Greek mythology. On the other hand, where all eyes size you up, I don't get it. And judging by the number of paintings in the manor, could be anywhere. Damn! The message continues, but thanks to me, the rest of the text is unreadable. Great. I hope it wasn't a unique edition or Mother's gonna kill me. Now I better hurry and find that damn Medusa.
Sir, dinner is served in the red salon.
Typical.
I'm not hungry. Please give my apologies to all the guests.
Sir Holm requests your presence, sir.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait before going and looking for my Medusa.
Tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Конечно, благодарю. На первой зажигалке. Блин, обидно, конечно, что я эту херню испортила, но если бы я еще и чернилами залила, то это было бы вообще фиаско.
If I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests.
Пойдем в комнату к женщине. Я хочу к ней в комнату. Быстро, 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 быстро. А там кто-то подметает, да? Бля. Давай, погнали. А почему нет? А к ней нельзя. Бля. А к кому можно? Закрыто. Закрыто. Вообще ничего. Опа.
Let no one disturb me. I'm busy.
Too bad. I'll see him later. President George Washington.
А чё он хавать не идет?
That's the door to Elizabeth's room.
For God's sakes, what happened in here?
Ебический случай католический. Так, давай по-бырому будем смотреть всё.
Great, honey. Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals. Well, let's see what it tastes like. Ugh. I really need to stop tasting everything I find now.
А у меня есть этот эликсир? Ой. А да у меня его нету, наверное. А вот, наверное, да? Ну и хер с тобой.
Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve. A novel of the initiation of a young woman, June 11th.
Моя дорогая Элизабет, твое последнее письмо очень меня беспокоит. От него веяло холодом и равнодушием. Словно все чувства покинули тебя. Отец считает, что это побочный эффект твоей терапии. Но скоро тебе станет лучше. Стоит ли мне надеяться? Если терпение жду нашу встречу, мы так давно не видели, жду ответа. С любовью, твоя сестра Эбигейл. Обязательно напиши, что тебе подарить.
August 24th.
Я в отчаянии, не знаю даже, стоит ли тебе писать. Может, ты не получишь моих писем. Отец пристально следит за своей корреспонденцией. Он явно пропускает далеко не все. К счастью, одна из горничных помогает мне отправлять письма. Правда, ни на одно не получил ответа. Часто думаю о тебе каждый день, молю Бога о встрече с тобой. Обязательно все наверстаем. Пожалуйста, ответь мне, прошу, с любовью, твоя сестра Эбигейл. Вчера снова приходила та страшная женщина, они с отцом долго о чем-то беседовали. Я не все поняла, потому что они говорили французском, но они точно обсуждали тебя. Блин, мне бесит то, что он письмо тоже читает, типа, на какой фиг.
My dear Elizabeth,
В этот раз у меня печальное известие. Мы не можем видеться в первое воскресенье мая. Мне передали, что тебе стало лучше, да и мы с твоим братьям работаем день и ночь на благо нашего нового государства. Прости, что так получилось, только нас освободишь, пускай даже знать, не сразу же приедем к тебе. С любовью, твой отец. Прошу, не держи меня, не держи зла на свою мать и не осуждай ее, она просто еще не готова, уверена, однажды сможешь все понять и простить.
P.S. Don't hold.
Так, а чё, я могу что-нибудь сожрать? Не знаю, я что-то вроде выпила, а что-то... Не знаю.
A chest with a half-circle pattern. An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible.
Понятно. Короче, я не знаю, походу ему вообще насрать на то, что здесь круг на черче. То, что тут все вот так вот.
Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals.
Я уже их сожрала, и мне ничего не понравилось же. Ладно. Погнали. Ну. Так, я в какую сторону-то хоть бежала? Да что такое? Почему я вниз не могу спуститься? Закрыто. Там можно зайти? Блин, как вот эти вот тупо, конечно, сделаны штуки, и вот. Серьезно? Понятно. Она просто решила не появляться.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault, too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Home.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious.
Oh,
I'm not worried about Jacques Peru.
How's your eye?
I've had worse.
Please accept my apologies. If I'd stepped in sooner, you wouldn't have gotten that.
My eye's nothing. Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
My mother came here to do business with Lord Mortimer, but she seems to have gone missing. So I'm here to find her.
I know your mother very well.
Really?
Yes, I have been in your mother's care ever since I was born.
She nursed you?
Oh, I wouldn't say nursed. No. I remember her stare, cold as ice. Her sadistic hands pressing over my mouth to silence me while I screamed in pain. I remember her knees, too. She held me down with them while she cut and burned scars into me.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
You can ask her when you see her.
Huh, she's getting more and more agitated. And next you're gonna tell me my mother's also responsible for that scar on your head?
My heart stopped twice during the operation. I lost my memory for 6 months. You obviously have no idea of the abuse your mother inflicted on me.
Wait. There must be some kind of mistake.
My only mistake was ever meeting your mother.
She's able to describe every detail without hesitation or getting flustered. It's becoming difficult not to believe the poor girl.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
You're right. I don't want this conversation to turn into an interrogation. You've suffered enough already. I respect your silence. Please excuse me.
Well, thank you. I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Haven't you got a sister?
Yes.
I'm sure she loves you with all her heart.
She's the only one who cares about me. I would have put an end to it all by now if it weren't for her. Since you insist, I'll tell you how I met your mother.
Thanks for trusting me.
You see, before I was born, my mother often suffered from hallucinations and fits of anger. Soon people could barely recognize her. She became a completely different person. So my father spent an enormous amount of money paying for the best doctors, but none of them were able to cure her. The last resort was to call a priest.
So, is that what your father did?
No. He went to an expert in the occult.
Ah, my mother.
Her reputation already extended beyond our borders. My mother's fits stopped at my birth, and Sarah de Richet concluded that the evil had passed into me. Not only did it encourage her to stay, but she took the opportunity to advise my father to separate me from the rest of my family. That's how I was declared stillborn. My fate was decided that very day.
It would coincide with my mother's frequent trips to America.
I had my first fit when I was 3. That's when your mother began her experiments to rid me of the evil inside.
I understand how you feel, but I know my mother. I'm sure she had her reasons, even if it seems difficult to believe.
Everything she put me through was all for nothing. My whole life was ruined for nothing.
So what brings you here then?
My father used to know Sir Holm. He offered to introduce me to the world's leading authority in the occult.
Lord Mortimer.
He was my last hope. Until I found out he had also invited your mother.
It's got to be a coincidence. I don't believe for a second she's come here for you.
You can't change my mind about this, Louis. My days are numbered, and I know it.
Чё дергается, чувак? И закрылась, и ушла. Чё дергаемся?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
What can you tell me about the guests?
Do excuse me, sir, but I am bound by discretion to say nothing about Lord Mortimer's guests, sir. Perhaps would like to know something else?
I would like to speak about your master, Lord Mortimer.
Do please excuse me, sir, but I shall make no comment about my master. Is there anything else
На кой
that
хрен
sir
ты
would
тогда
like
тут
to know?
стоишь, братан? Привет, кот. Я не понимаю, что здесь творится, вот серьезно.
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island in its natural state, sir. For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If sir would like to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor, I would advise sir to pass through the portrait gallery. May I help sir in any other way?
Yes. What can I find on the second floor?
That floor is strictly reserved for Lord Mortimer, sir. In the west wing, on the second floor, are his private chambers. In the east wing are the rooms reserved for Lord Mortimer's personal guests. At the moment, these rooms are reserved for Sir Holm, sir. But only authorized guests may access that area. Does sir have any more questions?
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Ну, блин. Я не могу. Ах, где там что-то появилось, да? Ну-ка,
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Hang on, but it's mine.
Beg pardon, sir?
It's my book. I'm telling you, it's my book.
With all due respect, sir, I hope sir will understand that I have doubts. You see, I found it in Lord Mortimer's library.
Well, there you are then. That's exactly where I left it.
I am quite put out, sir. I don't know what to say.
In that case, I suggest you say nothing and hand it over.
But I...
Now!
But sir, I... Very well, sir. Here you are. May sir take good care of it. It is damaged.
And you've damaged it as well? Well, bravo. Bravo.
Бедный этот чувак, мне его так жалко.
It wasn't me, sir.
Say pardon.
Pardon me, sir.
Very good.
Пиздец.
There were some other things I wanted to go over with you.
Давай еще янтарь.
My good fellow, would you have any amber available?
I would, but unfortunately I don't think I am authorized to give it out, sir. I believe it is a precious stone.
Ну и хер с тобой, короче, все, хватит. Такой весь растрепанный что-то. Да вообще, говорит, это... Типа, это моя книга, сука, ты еще и потрепал ее, ну-ка извиняйся.
Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently, and he sends no one to meet me?
What?
Huh. Peru looks totally out of place here. He's counting the 10 sets of cutlery around each plate? The man is completely lost.
As for myself.
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the King's table.
I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too, as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Актриса, конечно, так себе себя.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A Sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mentioning that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
What do you think of Volner?
The Prussian king is his puppet.
I find it hard to believe the king of Prussia is so weak.
Be careful. Volner is as influential as he is dangerous.
You seem to know each other well.
We used to work together.
I see.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
And you, sir?
What do you think, madam? What is this Bonaparte doing here?
The presence of a soldier is never a good sign. It can only mean there's going to be further war. To answer your question, I only know that his family were in favor of the revolution, and that it almost cost them their lives.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Monsieur de Richet? It would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
And right he was, too.
Oh, surely not.
Опасненько тут у вас.
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis. I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannon.
Да блин.
I've only just taken over the affair. The agreement will be considered null and void until we've gone through it together. Is that clear?
All right, you seem to know what you're doing. I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
Ой, ёб твою мать.
I think what France is lacking today is a truly strong leader ready to govern her. Someone who will restore her luster, who will propel her forward so once again she becomes a proud nation respected by all. A man capable of both rebuilding the country from the inside and, at the same time, developing exterior relations. Someone with a vision, I think. The right person still remains to be found.
You're right, my friend. I hear your words, and I agree. Monsieur de Richet, I am reassured. I am very happy to have met you. Lord Mortimer was right to put his trust in you. I hope to work with you in the very near future. I would like to thank you for your support by offering you this humble little gift.
Reflections on the Revolution in France. Monsieur Bonaparte, I thank you for this gesture, and please know that I, too, am delighted to have met you.
Мы завоевали сердце Наполеона.
I would like to thank Lord Mortimer.
Слушай, я не знаю, у меня какие-то смешанные чувства, потому что я ни хера не понимаю. Тут слишком много разных навыков, которые тебе сразу же нужны. Ты не можешь все подряд прокачать и как бы...
For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from them. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is imminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington. Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
И вот это вот мне не нравится, то, что я ни хера не понимаю, вот эти вот значки горят. Что с этим, блядь, делать? Что происходит? От чего этот значок появился? А, я мог обыскать комнату Наполеона. Ну, пиздарики, что я могу сказать? Так, что нам надо? Что нам надо? Ладно, наверное, как-то так. Ну там еще, блин, до хера, чтобы мастер на все руки приз получил. Огонь, вода и медные трубы.
All right, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother.
Короче, я предлагаю на сегодня закончить. Вот, потому что Я что-то это... Слишком много информации за один раз. Вот. Что за материалы? А, это внешние какие-то эти. Ой, тут еще эпизод 3, 4, 5. Ё-моё. Так что это... Спасибо, кто зашел, пришел. Я думаю, завтра продолжим. У меня ДБД не грузится. Я не знаю, что с ним происходит. Меня на сервера не пускают. Я вчера вот вечером играла. Ну, как вечером, ближе к ночи уже. Я сыграла каток, не знаю, 6, наверное, где-то. И типа меня потом начал выкидывать тупо. И сегодня вот я перед тем, как в эту игру играть, я тоже запустила ДБД, типа начала за маньяка играть. Ну как играть, типа подгружаться. А меня тупо выбрасывает и все, и не дает. Поэтому там с серверами какие-то проблемы. В смысле забанено? Да, конечно. Да мне, типа, через час надо по делам идти, как бы мне надо собраться, все такое. Так что я это к вечеру ближе врублю. Часов 7-8 вечера врублю. И я, может быть, сейчас попробую переустановить игру. Может быть, в этом проблема. Не знаю. Вот, так что ладно, давайте это до вечера. Вечером еще увидимся.